Today, we'll cover some of the biggest headlines in the MMA world. Dustin Poirier compared Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Belal Muhammad is ready to vacate his title for Islam, and the UFC has permanently brought back its old gloves. Plus, Merab Dvalishvili revealed the toughest opponent of his career. All the details coming up. Dustin Poirier compares Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev. Who was tougher? The former interim champion shared his thoughts on fighting two of the most dominant grapplers in the sport. They both use a similar wrestling style, relying on trips and sweeps to take opponents down. But their approach is different. Against Islam, I managed to avoid some of his strikes. Against Khabib, I just couldn't get away. He was relentless and much more aggressive. Khabib is probably a bit bigger and stronger, but Islam is an incredible champion. Meanwhile, the possibility of Makhachev moving up to welterweight is already raising questions among his potential opponents. Belal Muhammad: if Islam moves up to welterweight, I'll give up my belt. The welterweight title contender made it clear he won't fight Makhachev. We've trained together for so long, we have a special bond. I could never fight him. It's not about money. Islam's team has helped me a lot, so if he decides to move up to welterweight, I'd rather move to middleweight and go after a second belt. I think I'm 2 fights away from a title shot at 185. While Makhachev's move to welterweight is still just speculation, the UFC has already made a major change. UFC brings back old gloves, permanently. Starting with today's event, fighters are back to using the previous model of UFC gloves. The promotion has decided to abandon the latest modifications and return to the older design. Meanwhile, a top bantamweight contender has revealed the toughest fight of his career. Merab Dvalishvili names the toughest opponent of his career. The Georgian fighter reflected on the biggest challenges he has faced in the octagon. Jose Aldo was the toughest opponent of my career. It was really hard to dominate that fight. Petr Yan was also a tough challenge, but at that moment I was highly motivated. It wasn't easy, but I still won convincingly. Who will Merab face next? That question remains unanswered for now.